Okay. Lean back. And we're rotating. Start now by just doing those sort of swivels. It's okay if your sit bones lift. Just see what's accessible in terms of range. We'll be just working on active control movements, not really stretches. Okay, so let's go towards left side, your left side. Okay, I'm going to my left as well. So my left leg is externally rotated, the right leg is internally rotated. If you need to bend the knees a little bit more, okay, make sure you're fairly comfortable. So now, with the left leg at the front, I want you to drop to your left shoulder. Oh, sorry, not shoulder, elbow rather, right? On the forearm. So I want you to create a little bit of space so then this foot can lift. If it's not going here, put the block or pillow below your rib cage, almost lie down on your left side, and I would like you to create a bit of this. Okay, if this leg is uncomfortable, you can lengthen it. And we're just trying to get a bit of inner thighs, and obviously the back of the hip, lifting and lowering. So you could be lying down, and don't worry if it's even just an inch, that's fine. Okay, it's just about you creating motion in that hip. The thigh bone rotates away from the spine. Okay, if you can do it on the forearm, great. You can pin your knee down a little bit. The knee doesn't lift, okay? Your thigh stays on the floor. Only foot goes. Thigh bone just rotates like this. Lift, hold, relax. Lift, hold, relax. Okay? If you at this point able to even do it this way, if comfortable, you could even come up higher. Okay? So this is obviously easier. The lower you are, this easier, harder it is as you're at the already further end of range of motion for that hip. And we drill in, okay? So it will fatigue your whole hip, inner thigh, you know, all those muscles are actually doing something. Give me 5 more. 4, okay? The lift should not be again huge. You're going your max, but you're adjusting your position based on what you're seeing with the leg. So if I'm here and the leg lifts very high, I know that I can come up higher and challenge myself more. I'm only able to lift an inch or two. 2, 1, and then relax. So if you're in this position, you're going to come up and you're staying with your chest facing your left knee. You can bend your left knee for comfort a little bit. Then guys, right leg. So now if you've got a block that is a little bit heavier, right? Like cork block would be good, or like just a heavier foam block would be okay. Otherwise, if you've got any books nearby, it would be best because then you can put it on top of your foot and you can feel that you're lifting something. So we again have a left thigh in front of the chest, fold over that leg a little bit, and then we're trying to push that book towards the ceiling, which is an internal rotation in your right hip. That right knee points to the right, right? So I'm facing the same direction as my left knee. My right knee goes facing where my right arm's pointing to the side. And that knee stays at 90 degrees. Try not to bend the knee as you're lifting because that's more hamstring. We don't want the knee to change position. You should feel this around the hip and through the side. Look me. Lift, hold, lift, 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 hold. And of course, if it's not lifting or you feel this in the lower back, you go down lower onto the block. You can literally fold over your left leg just to make sure that there is some movement in that right hip and at least lift off an inch. If you feel okay and the leg is still lifting when you're sitting tall, even better. That's going to be much harder. Because we're aiming for 20 lifts, so again, we definitely passed halfway. I'm going to do another 5 here. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so we worked one side, left hip external rotation, right hip internal rotation. I'm going over to the other side. So now right leg is externally rotated, left leg is internally rotated. Touch that book so it's a little bit closer to you. You can just have it nearby. Adjust it in a moment. You tilt over to your right side. You can start on your elbow and see if the right foot can lift. Yeah, you may find if you've got obviously a lift higher or it's much easier for you to lift. Obviously, you probably know you've got a more active range of motion. So we adjust, right? So if the lift is very high, you're going higher with the upper body so we can make that movement smaller. If it doesn't lift at all here, you go down onto your cushion or block, almost lying down. So you can actually lift that leg and create that rotation. So we're looking for the perfect setup. Arms are there to support you, blocks are there to support you, and also the same goes for the floor. Aiming for 20 lifts. No matter how small, make sure you're going for your max effort, but very short, right? Couple of seconds. Always relax fully. Brace and lift. We don't want any movement anywhere else in the body. It's all happening in the hip. You will feel also left knee putting down into the ground. If uncomfortable here, put a cushion below the knee, or you can straighten that leg if you're here, right? That's all absolutely acceptable. It may actually be helpful. So I'm in my third quarter of the movement. Okay, we only aiming for 20, so I want to finish off with the last 5. And 3. And 2. Look after your back because there will be a lot of again QLs and contraction of the stomach, but you shouldn't really be moving. Last one. And then we changing position so we can bend the front leg, that right leg. Lean forwards a little bit. The book on your foot. Okay, the knee 90 degrees or a little bit less if there's any discomfort. You can also put a cushion below the knee. And we will aim for this internal rotation on this side. We don't want anything heavy, but that should be like a kilo, maybe kilo and a half would be good for you. And again, you can always come down lower if necessary. It's good to always do it with a mirror. Okay, if I've done, carry on. Lift, hold, and down. If you again feel like this is easy, the foot lifts quite a lot, more than a couple of inches, then sit up taller. We probably will have that. You find that one side obviously has more internal rotation, the other side has more external rotation. We all have the preferred more mobile side. Okay, the front leg can bend quite a lot. You don't have to force that pigeon leg. Okay, we should be thinking pelvis, upper body still, and the thigh rotating. We don't care about other legs so much. I'm heading to my 15th rep. And this last 5, just counting to 20. 3, 2, and 1. And we'll slowly relax because that again was a lot of this region work, right? But you could feel also down inner thighs, stretch through your paws, push through each heel one at a time. Side your right wrist for your lizard lunge. Walk your hands forward, elbows can stay straight or drop down onto the block or floor. If it's too intense here, you just stay a little bit higher, hands below the chest. So find suitable level. We're expecting, again, hip flexor on the left, right inner thigh, right hamstring a little bit, stretching as well. Use a few breaths in this position. You can obviously move a little bit, okay? You can rock your hips. You can move your right leg in and out. You can turn your torso. You can rotate in the opposite direction. Remember this, again, so many connective tissue connections, as the name suggests, right? Fascia, weaves all over the body, connects all those muscles from the back, deep superficial layers, hips, down to the thighs and knees, stomach, up to the neck, right? And down to the feet. So it's just not one position we want to stay in. Twist to your front leg will emphasize that stretch of the psoas in the left, in the front of the left hip. And another variation you can try is simply lifting your left foot. That will stretch to the front of your thigh. And maybe that's all you're doing. Maybe you need to back off to do this. Okay, if your knee's uncomfortable, obviously you can skip that. If you feel okay reaching for the foot, you could explore that stretch too. The quads. It could be done like this as well. Those are just different degrees of same stretch. But 3 more inhales. And we'll be switching sides in a moment. Okay, get ready to lift back up through that elevated lizard, knee down dog. And we're exploring the same thing. The left side, the foot steps outside your hand, drop your knee. Maybe sink with your chest, rocking side to side. You can move the leg here independently of the chest, or you can move the whole upper body and pelvis. You can twist towards your front leg, resting your hand or not. And I like to go to the left and then to my right. You will feel something, maybe in different places, but you will feel something in each of these variations. Okay, take a few more breaths, and then we will be moving on to the knee and pulling the foot to the hip. Don't force it, okay? See if the foot lift. That's the sort of stage 1. Again, if you're struggling, you could also do this variation. If you obviously can reach easily, go for it. If not, you're probably better off simply using a block. And maybe if there's no cramping in the hamstring, pull the foot. This is all obviously additional, all extra. Make sure it's sustainable, your kneecap doesn't hurt, your foot is okay. Three more breaths. Okay. One more inhale, guys. We'll be moving back knee, straighten your front leg. Quick stretch for your hamstrings. And try to keep your back nice and long. So you're hinging from the hips. It's okay to use the blocks. I feel like this is really tight again. You can do little pushes, right? So release, push, release. So you're just creating again this stretch to the muscles. They contract against in the long position against the ground. So that's one option. Okay, just to work a little bit with contraction and strengthening the muscle in long position. Little push, release. If this feels okay, like pleasant stretch, work with me on the transition. So you're going to turn onto your left leg, sit back, work on your inner thigh. And then you're coming up, you rotate, you pivot on the heel, you're looking at a forward fold. So now you're sort of linking hamstrings with groins and inner thighs, okay? So you can pick one of those variations. If you're still pressing into the floor, great. Go for about, 10 to 20 pushes, contractions. If you're moving, if this feels very sticky, very tight, you can hang out here for a few breaths. Again, if stretch was pleasant, right, you can obviously deepen the stretch, slide a little bit further into a split. Okay, give just a few more breaths. Get ready to change. Okay, other side. And toes up will increase that stretch. And again, you can all try a little press, release. 20% effort press, like you're trying to kick through the floor. Okay, it's always good practice to get a bit of a. So again, the more flexible you are, you want to go a little bit deeper, where that stretch is where you kind of passive, right? Um, and then try to discharge from the sort of more intense place where you feel maybe slightly restricted or like the stretch is getting too intense. That's where you do the pressing, okay, at the sticky point. And then again, if this feels okay, manageable, then you work on this connective tissue and the fascial connections, right? So we rotating, bringing the big toe down, sitting back. You can obviously have your toe pointed, drop down, rise up, use your hands, stretching, rocking side to side even, okay? And you're just working on, you see how you actually will be rotating your hip as well, internally. Sitting back, chest down if you wish, chest up. That challenges the hip as well. We can also find out where is that resistance in this transition. One more times, maybe. So then explore. And again, if you've been doing the flow, side and front, side of front, see if you can finish with a little bit more of a, more than the half split. So stretch towards splits. Maybe not all the way because we haven't really been devoting much time today to hamstrings and working hip flexors. So reasonable range. And guys, breath for two, and we will be transitioning onto the backs again. And then just your relaxed body. Okay, so safely come out of a side, the front, half split, front split.